The company that makes Claude just told the world there is a 1 in 4 chance their own technology causes a global catastrophe. Not a protester outside their headquarters, not a regulator who has never seen the code. The CEO, the man who built it, in an official document about his own product. That document came out on June 4, 2026. Anthropic titled it, "When AI Builds Itself," and most people missed it. Anthropic is not a fringe organization. Google has invested billions. Amazon has invested billions. They power Claude, the AI tool hundreds of thousands of developers and businesses depend on every day, across the US, across Europe, across India. This is not a small company making a wild claim. This is one of the 3 most important AI companies in the world saying, "We are worried about what we are building." Here is what they disclosed. Anthropic's AI now writes 80% of the code that Anthropic ships. Not some of it, 80%. Their engineers, the people literally building Claude, are no longer primarily writing code. They are reviewing it, directing it. The AI is doing the writing. And here is why that is not just a productivity story. When the AI is writing the code that makes the AI better, that is a loop. A feedback loop with no natural ceiling. Anthropic's own research shows that the length of tasks their AI can handle autonomously has been doubling, as in twice as powerful every 4 months. Every 4 months. Think about what doubling every 4 months means. Today, 16 hours of autonomous work without a human. By late 2026, multi-day tasks. By 2027, potentially multi-week. An AI that can run a week-long research project, write all the code, test it, and ship it without a human deciding what to do next. That is not a prediction. That is the trend line from their own published data. There is a model most people have never heard of. Claude Mythos. It is Anthropic's most powerful AI, and it has never been released to the public. Not because it is not ready. Because they decided it is too dangerous. Their own internal assessment concluded that Mythos has cybersecurity capabilities that could outpace the defenses built to stop it. They locked it away. They have shared it only with a small number of vetted organizations. The most advanced AI in existence, and you are not allowed to use it. When Anthropic published this document, they also made a request. They asked every major AI company in the world to voluntarily pause development of their most advanced models. Not permanently, not for a set time. Just build the systems that would allow a coordinated global slowdown if things move too fast. Have the option ready. They compared it to nuclear arms control. The Cold War created treaties, inspections, verification systems, not to stop nuclear weapons from existing, but to slow the race when it needed slowing. Anthropic wants the same kind of infrastructure for AI, a mechanism the world can use if it needs to. Nobody agreed. As of today, 12 days after that document was published, not one major AI company has publicly responded. Not OpenAI, not Google, not Meta, not xAI, total silence. And the silence makes sense once you understand the problem. A pause only works if everyone pauses at the same time. If Anthropic stops, OpenAI does not. If OpenAI stops, Google does not. If every American company stops, Chinese labs do not. And no one can verify that rivals have actually stopped. The infrastructure to run a real pause does not exist. Anthropic is not just asking for a pause. They are asking the world to build the system that would make a pause possible. That is a 10-year project minimum. Here is what makes this story feel like a contradiction. The same week Anthropic published their catastrophe warning, Goldman Sachs released a figure. Cumulative AI investment from 2026 to 2031, $7.6 trillion, 1/4 of annual US GDP, more than Germany's entire economy, every year, for 5 years. Going into AI infrastructure, and Anthropic, they are preparing for their own IPO, valuation approaching $1 trillion. The same company warning the world is also raising the most money in the history of tech. You are allowed to find that uncomfortable. Why do they keep building? They answer this directly. If advanced AI is going to be built, and it is, no matter what any single company does, it is better to have safety-focused organizations at the frontier than to hand that ground to developers who are not thinking about safety at all. That is their argument. It is not a dishonest argument. It is also not a comfortable one to sit with when the CEO is simultaneously estimating a 25% chance of catastrophe. What does this mean if you are a developer, specifically if you are building on Claude or building anything that uses AI as infrastructure? The model you use today is not the ceiling, it is the starting point. The capabilities will compound. The rate of compounding is accelerating, and the people closest to those capabilities are publishing documents that say, "We are not entirely sure where this goes." India matters here specifically, not as an aside, as the center. By 2027, India will have more software developers than any country on Earth. The generation entering that market right now is building on tools whose creators just admitted publicly that they do not know what those tools become in 2 years. That is context every developer in India deserves to have. There is one paragraph in Anthropic's document that stays with you. They write that they do not know exactly when or whether recursive self-improvement will cross the threshold they are worried about. They know it is happening. They know the rate is accelerating. They do not know where the line is. The builders of the most important software tools in the world just published a formal paper saying, "We do not know where the line is." That sentence does not mean stop using AI. It does not mean the catastrophe is certain. 1 in 4 is not 1 in 1. It means the people with the most information, inside the walls, reading the benchmarks, running the tests, are genuinely uncertain, and they thought you should know. Read the original document. It is free. 12,000 words at anthropic.com. It will change how you think about the tools you build on. And then drop a comment. Does a 1 in 4 estimate from the company that builds your tools change how you use them? I read every single reply. Subscribe to Synth Ops.